What's up, fam? It's all clouded here, and last week you've seen that I hit those awesome milestones with the moddies, got the galaxy compressor, got the AD. This week we actually hit physical milestones. So it's the best way we do this. We could just look right here. Boom. Test 16, wave 70. So a lot of people that watch the videos, I'm assuming that they're kind of around my level. Maybe, they're coming up to some of the roadblocks that I'm facing. But this milestone right here, if you're not too sure, it unlocks some key labs for helping deal with some issues. So when we first start out, well, this is how I feel. These were some of the hurdles that I come across. So the first issue I found was protectors. God, I don't even know if that's how you spell it. So where protectors were the first issue around T2, and I just felt like that was such a hard issue to solve, and I didn't really solve it until I got black hole, or at least a permanent version of black hole, because it basically just consumes and deletes them. The other issue I had was vamps, and this was solved for me through wall. Once I got garlic thorns, the vamps disappeared. The next issue that I faced, and I'm currently still getting rid of that issue, was scatters. They basically surround my wall. If we start here, they basically surround me like this. Oh, where's my pen? Do we have a... Does that kind of look like a scatter? So you go like that, and it'll be all around my wall as my damage can't keep up. And then as the scatters break down, we get lots of little scatters, the scatter babies. And basically all of that surrounding my wall, heating up, was basically what would kill me, or what would be a large contributor. The rays are still pounding the wall, the rays are here, and they're still shooting, but then just getting absolutely smothered by scatters and not being able to kill them fast enough. That was a big issue. So what we were doing, where we were focusing on tier 11 and trying to get the EHP up. But no matter how much EHP I drove up, if we look here, in the week, I think I was around that 7.5k last week. So in a whole week of mucking around with EHP, I only managed to get myself up 100 waves. Now 100 waves might be good, might be bad, not sure, but it was time to look at a different approach. So in the previous video, I mentioned that we almost got T12. We were just shy of it. Boom, got it. So if you're unsure what that is, it's a shame that I can't just click on this to show you, but the relic is 10%, I don't know what they call it. It's like lab discount. So 10% off your labs. So that's a massive hit. And I literally just got that just before this video. The run just ended. I ended up ending that run, was at 4,700, and yeah, that's enough. Let's get back to farming. But if we go back to my issue of the scatters, now the good thing about this game is we're all greeted by the same issues. We all have the same roadblocks that we have to pass, and everybody's tale is different because everybody approaches the situation different. You know, they have a different idea of how they're going to problem solve it. Good thing is there's a lot of people that are more advanced than, you know, probably anyone that will ever see this video, so they can talk to other people and, you know, get a bit of advice on how they passed it. But one thing to help me deal with the scatters is breaking this milestone. So I got it. I got the Wave 300. Now, what's so important about the Wave 300 is, I'm sure I've harped on about it many a times, but we get the T16. And the reason why we want the T16 is there's two key labs here. First lab, shatter shards. It unlocks shatter shards. The next one, which is what we were really after, chain lightning. So what are those chain lightning researchers? So if we go here, this lightning amp. So what it does, I think if we click into it, we can lightning amp. Each chain lightning hit on the scatter will amplify the damage. Basically, it's an amp. And as it bounces off the scatters, and as the scatters born scatter babies, it keeps bouncing in and in between, and it just keeps amping. And it basically, the goal of it is to just Swiss cheese the scatters. So that milestone there it's a pretty big one. You know, when it came to the G comp and that's a big one, because, you know, it's loot boxing, it's RNG, it's out of your control. All you got to do is just keep buy more modules, and just pray that you're going to get it. This one here, to get the tier 16, you know, it takes a little bit of strategy in that. So for the tier 15, what did I do? I actually don't think I did anything. Oh wait, okay, no. Let's stay on track. So this is how I got the tier 15. So last week I got, for tier 15, I got Wave 200. I kept on my path doing EHP through through the workshop. That took me to a couple days ago. I got the tier 15 and I got Wave 270. So I needed an extra 30 waves. Now, I couldn't figure out how I was going to get those extra 30 waves, but I didn't want to sit there all day mucking around with a 300 wave milestone. And then what I actually figured out was, we go to my enhancements, is I actually had, I actually had nothing in this tab, recovery package. Now my wall was getting smashed around that 250 mark, or maybe even sooner. My wall was getting absolutely smashed. So it's pretty much non-existent. I could sit there doing whatever I wanted with it. It's just going to crumble anyway. It basically becomes an energy shield, or like a thicker energy shield. So I thought, well, if I'm just relying on thorns because I don't have enough damage, well, maybe I need a little bit more sponge there. So all I did was literally put some life into recovery package and just relied on my thorns. I tried doing the cheese method. We use your death penalty and use the RNG for wave skip. I literally didn't get any skips on the bosses. I got all of them, and I had to tank all of them, which is, you know, but hey, look, I got it at the end of the day. Now, when it came to the tier 16, I actually tried this a number of times. I must have tried this about more than 10 times, and I couldn't figure out how I was going to do it. Don't have enough damage. HP is almost irrelevant when they start smashing you for trillions of damage. So I actually tried something different. I thought, all right, let's switch this up. So I respec'd my workshop. I put everything into EHP. I went to this tab, my workshop tab. I put as much as I could into health, regen, I pretty much ignored the wall health. I actually don't even know if I unlocked the wall. Actually, no, wait. I did unlock the wall, but I didn't put anything into it. I just treated it like an energy shield. And then all I did, honestly, was I set up some cards. Not necessarily this one's that I do those random events. But I set it up and I just put intro sprint. What's my intro sprint? Wait, where is it? My intro sprint takes you up to 100 waves or whatever. So I put intro sprint. I put, what else do we put? Wave accelerator, energy net, range, demon mode. What else do we put? Health. And then put second wind. And I just spammed it until the RNG gave me the home run. And I got the what is it, 50 or 60 waves. So that's how I got those milestones. And, you know, that's a massive, the power that's in those two labs, and we can get into it in a minute. You know, they're definitely, you know, not anything to be looked down upon. So let's do the rounds. So tournaments, we did a Legends one. Because we were doing milestones and that, I just wanted it to be over. I was honestly just going to do a one waiver, but I thought, oh well, we might as well just at least try to do something. So the last tournament got rank 4. That got us up into the tournament run. 80. I mean, I really should have not attempting like that. I should have just did one, but it was actually a crazy event. Like I watched Jay plays one, and I watched JP and all that, and they were just like me. They were getting like 3 bosses at a time. So yeah, we pretty much just fling through that, and we'll just see wherever we end up. This thing, I did buy the pack. I actually kicking myself because I forgot the last pack. I think that's the second event. You know, battle pass, whatever you want to call it. The second one that I've missed, I actually just worked hectic and lost track of days. And then we're just getting through these. You know, these annoying ones, like using nuke, all that sort of stuff. Obviously, we've got everything. Guilds, I think everybody in the community is basically the same. Everything's sold out. And then now we just wait for the reset, which is in 7 days. Oh, you got this too, boys. Support your local. Go and go purchase your packs. Climb your ranks. We talked about the milestones. We'll go to workshop. So workshop, I don't know if anything's changed in this, but enhancements slightly. So we're back to working on damage. I think I've stopped on this tab for a while, the defense, and on this one I don't think I've touched anything. The reason why we're kind of leaving the EHP route for a second is if we look at the stats, 600 trill, we're almost, this tournament, so we've got 600 trill, this tournament will take us to 12,000 stones, that many labs. And here's our runs. So still tier 10, still tier 11. So that's how we're looking. If you guys remember from the last video, we'll look at a different way to look at it. And then we can go into how our farming's looking. All right. So if you guys remember this order, because I can't zoom in or zoom out, we've got another tier 11, 10, 11, 10. So think about that. 11, 10, 11, 10. So we go across. So I think looking here is about what we want to look at. Cells, coins, duration, and what we died to. So you can see all down here is scatters. So we're working on that with the lab. Over here's the time. So 12 hours. You can see that all the 11 tier 11s are, you know, around that 10-hour mark. The tier 10s, definitely 12 hours plus. Like, look down here. Look at this one. Almost 14 hours. We can just go to infinity and beyond. But if we look at the runs, so here's the coin per hour. So we're almost hitting, so this is tier 11. We're almost hitting that trillion per hour. Could get it if we went Devo. Easy could get it, you know, would be 1 point whatever trillion hour. I just can't be bothered Devoing at the moment. Not until I at least have a mythic multiverse nexus. So I'm not even going to bother until we get to that. And then we have this one here. These are the tier 10s. So they've climbed up a bit too. So if you look even down here, 600, you know, billion an hour, 700 billion an hour. And we're up to 900, 800. And over here we've got the dates. Just for reference, if anybody wants a reference. All down here. So where are we at as far as farms go? So we're actually setting ourselves a little bit different now. So because I invested quite a bit in EHP, not as much as some other people have, some people are tanky as, but because we're taking a stop for a minute, it's because once I delete the scatter problem, and I've actually tried it last night, and I'm going to try it now going forward, is we're actually dropping the 50-50 perk. So the 50-50 trade-off, which is you halve your damage, but you also halve the mob's damage. So this run here, this one here, 12.5 hours, that's 12.5 hours with no 50-50 trade-off. So I pretty much picked all the perks. I actually probably picked too much damage from the start and I was just nuking everything. And then just went to sleep. So we can now do 12-hour runs with no 50-50 trade-off. So the goal is to maybe smash those tier 10s. So if we have tier 10s, and we know that we can comfortably do it with no 50-50 trade-off for 12 hours, so we don't need any more EHP, and we just work on the damage, and from there, when we can keep smashing elites and stuff, and not having a problem, then we migrate over to tier 11. Now, we'll still do tier 11 runs, because, you know, it's just the time and the coin per hour is good in that, but I had my perks and everything set up where I had to make sure that I have to get the 50-50 trade-off. Now I don't have to do that. And I remember watching one of JP's videos, and he said the same thing, that he was now saving his 50-50 trade-off till right at the end of the run, or he was doing runs where he didn't do it at all. And I remember thinking to myself, man, that's crazy. Like, the damage that the mobs do is so high. I couldn't understand how he does it. And now we're kind of getting to that point where our EHP is good enough in a run that we don't have to opt for it so fast. So that's kind of the farming strategy, I would say, you know, going forward for the next week, maybe for the next month. But, you know, that's what we're up to. So cards, I've got all of these ones maxed. So all of these maxed, and we're now just down to the home run. Now, as much as I'd like to smash through to pick up some of these, especially Wave Accelerator and Ultimate Crit, it is what it is. You know, we'll just be patient. What I do need, though, is I need another card slot. 3,500 gems. I am going to save my gems. I will either wait for the banner or I'll get the card slot. We'll see what the banner is. If it's going to be anything like project funding, and, you know, probably not going to have enough gems to do anything good, but, you know, maybe in a lower level version of the module, it might actually be pretty good. So moddies, has anything changed? I don't think anything's changed, but I did roll onto this. We'll just equip it so you guys can see a bit better. And I just want a black hole duration. So I re-rolled and I just went for black hole duration, and then just whatever else came, and, you know, that's just whatever else rolled as a mythic, and I just ended up keeping it because I'm only one copy away from ancestral, so I'm not even gonna bother. Anything else, haven't rolled this yet. We are working on our re-roll shards. And when it comes to shards, That's why we wanted the shatter shard labs as well, because you can shatter these too. I think a lot of people forget these things can get shattered as well, because we're so used to just merging the blues. Now you can merge it to epic and you can shatter it as well. But when it comes to, one of the best advice that I got and that I tell everybody is that when it comes to your labs for your modules, as soon as you can, you should max it out. So your common drop chance, your rare drop chance, shatter shards, I only just unlocked it, but that sort of stuff, because if you're thinking about it from a snowball perspective, the sooner you roll up that snowball and push it down the hill, even if you're not up to that point, like some people will sit there and think, oh, I'm not rolling modules at the moment, so it doesn't really affect me. But the sooner that you start it, like you think that every 10 waves you get a boss, the RNG rolls, whether you're going to get a common, which is going to shatter automatically, like most people have it set to shatter, just up here in the corner. We don't need the white modules anymore. So all of that shattering. Now, if the first lab I get is at 20%, then all of those white ones that shatter from now, once I unlock the lab, to eternity, I'm getting 20% more, let alone whatever I shatter in here. Because having an extra effect, like to get all the way to 140, 161, or 200, it seems so far away. Like, when you think about it, you're like, oh, why would I need to do that now? I just, I don't even need to bother. I'm not mucking around with that now. But if you start the snowball now, by the time you get to it, you're going to be thankful. So I did the same for missions. I'd put that daily mission one on there, and I just maxed it. Like, I think I either was one of my earlier videos, and then somebody said, hey, that daily mission shards, max that shit ASAP. And then I just trusted them, and I thought, oh, well, yep, sweet. And it just worked out. And then from there, I knew that all of those shards for leveling up, all of this, 1, 2, 3, these things go up chunky in the price. Like, I'm only up to, we'll look at the wormhole. That's 119. To go to 120, somewhere along here, this 1287 is going to jump. So when you look at maybe where your modules are at, and you might only see, maybe 600, or you might only see 800, and you might think like, oh, what's the point in doing it now? I guarantee you that cost gets huge. So starting the snowball now, it's one of the best advice that I could give. Now, it's all dependent, but, trust in the process, do your labs, get it over and done with. Like this shadow one here, this at 4x speed, it's going to take 10 days, also just over 10 days. So that's only a week and some change. Now, once you go up into the other levels, like the next jump for this, I think it might be 70 days or something like that. But you'll end up thanking your earlier version of yourself if you get some of these snowball labs over and done with. It's the same like some of the econ ones. Where permitted and where the value's there, getting them knocked out starts that snowball. It's like relics. That's where they get you. That's where they get you on the relics, like this one here. Is it the 2% coin? 2% coins. Every day you don't have that 2% coins is a day you're losing 2% coins, because you would have had it. That's the problem with the way that the relic system's built in that. I don't so much want this event pass or the battle pass for that. I want it to hurry up and get rid of the poverty bot. I want to get this thing over and done with. And I know, like, would I rather do it in 1 year, or would I rather do it in 2 years? I'd probably rather do it in 1 year. So that's where I see the value in it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you guys see things a little bit different, but that's kind of my version of how I process, some of these hurdles we're going through. So while we're talking about the labs, we got labs. I thought I'd pick up the coin bonus because I haven't done it in ages. So I thought might as well put a few levels into it. And at the moment I'm pretty sure off my head at a 4x, it's a lab a day. The reroll shards, I put this on last week and it was only at level 60. We'll get to this weekend, it's already at level 73. So these labs are cheap. So I've got all these labs at the moment or at 4x. So I can get the labs at, excuse me, I can get the labs at 4x, all of them, maybe every second day, maybe every third day. But I can get some solid slots on 4x. Like I can perma this on 4. I could probably pick one of these that I could definitely guarantee it's on 4, like let's say this. And then every now and then I can have another one of these and another one of these. You know, the basic goal is to get all of these labs at 4, and that's kind of why I was trying to push for tier 11. And then golden tail bonus, obviously we're just trying to finish it. So we could probably look at history. I actually stuck super crit in. I was in between labs and I thought, why not? Like look how fast it gets done. Like that's done on, is that done on the same day? Oh no, it's a day apart. But whatever. You can see it there. Just cheap. Why not? And then we've obviously got so I finished up this. I accidentally left this one on. And then it was like, by the time I turned around, it already had so many days into it. And I was like, might as well just leave it there. So I think here's where our labs are. I think we finished up on the 50. Oh wait, 20th, 19th. It'd actually be a few days back than that, I think. So we actually got quite a few labs done. I think, am I counting right? 7 days ago. So that's like 13th. Yeah, so we're more from here. So we've got re-rolls, a little bit of EHP, and then somewhere in there we switched over, a bit of attack speed, blah de la de la de la de la. What I haven't done in a while is what we could do, is we could probably actually do this. So because of favorites, there might be some stuff that's out in the wrong place. So if you want to have a look, just pause it, and then I'll just make my way down. So somebody might see something. I've actually picked up a lot of labs just going off what people have seen. Like they'll go, hey, I noticed you haven't done this, or bro, don't sleep on this. And then I do it, and then I'm super thankful for it. So if you guys see anything, I know I need to do this range. But if you guys see anything that screams out, please don't tell me defense absolute or cash per wave. Maybe if I get bored in the future. I mean, is Death Wave damage amplifier a thing? Oh, I didn't talk about ultimate weapons. We could probably get into ultimate weapons after this. Still haven't done enemies. Modules. So right here, just what I was talking about. Boom, boom, boom. So this is your supply. Think about it this way. This is your supply. This is your supply, and this is your supply. And this feeds essentially the Shatter Lab for, you know, fodder or whatever you call it. So that feeds it. Now this here is the reduction in the cost. So I see quite a few people will be paying for this and labbing this one when you can do that at any time. You know, those shards aren't going anywhere. But this one here, these ones here, the sooner you do it, the more that supply and that income is coming in when it comes to your shards. And then at any stage down the track, you can do that. And just, if you just go to your module and then you just do restore like that, boom, get it all refunded. And then once you equip it again, you'll max it, and it will have that discount applied. Like, you're not losing out on anything, you're just gaining it back, like you're refunding and picking up a few levels here and there. Ultimate weapons, I did do a few little small things. So I picked up a couple seconds here. So we're basically almost perma. I call it almost perma because sometimes I can be perma black hole for ages, and then other times I miss a care package and then the whole thing gets a bit muddled up. What else did I pick up? Maybe some of this, don't know, can't remember. Picked up a few random levels of that. Somebody said to me to take it to 63, so I might do that. This quantity, I remember seeing a video from Ryan, one of his videos, and then I'm just conscious that I don't put too much into the quantity where, yep, it's helpful for me now because my damage is weak, but down the track, my chain lightning, once it's at like 1000x damage, isn't so strong that this quantity is shooting out past the black hole and killing everything. So I'm just a little bit conscious of that. So I think maybe maxing my quantity at 3 and then, revising it somewhere down the track. If somebody else has any suggestions, just sing out. Or I might get some chants before we go back to this. So these will be my next 2 last levels before, because that's already at, what's that, 600 and something, 620, 630. So after that, we'll get the 3rd lamp, guys. Been talking about it for ages, but I really just need to bite the bullet, save up and get it. So yeah, just picking up small stuff on here. I did notice, that black hole was really handy in those milestone pushes. That super helped out a lot. But that's pretty much my week. A real, I say it like, that's pretty, that's it. That's pretty much my week. But on the inside, I'm super stoked. I really wanted to get those milestones, and I'm absolutely over the moon that we got it. And now I just need to do those labs and kill those shatters and scatters, and then, yeah, they're not going to end my run so much. And then the next thing we would have to worry about, once we have scatters gone, the next thing will be rays and bosses. Now, that's going to be a whole different conversation, because I'm pretty much thinking once we get to those, I'm pretty much thinking just damage. Damage is going to be our savior there. So we've talked about the plans as far as farming. We don't have to pick up the 50-50 trade-off so soon. We don't have to just rely on our EHP. We've talked about, killing scatters. Actually, I just talked about a whole lot of shit. So we might as well wrap it up there. So if you like what you see, you know the drill. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can see when the next video is coming out. And as always, keep it cloudy, fam.